This is absolutely incredible. $20 a month and you can have a team of PhD employees at your fingertips. Keep in mind, I have 6 agents running at the same time right now. Each agent is taking the place of multiple employees. I'm gonna start so many businesses. Not only is it making this pitch deck, it's also incorporating things that it knows about me personally because it remembers everything you ask it across chats now. YouTube, 22-year-old, 50K a month business. Holy crap. There's a ton of Chrome extensions apps that are all built on top of and or with OpenAI that are about to be made irrelevant. OpenAI is slowly eating the internet. Well, ChatGPT just broke the internet again, and not just with another chatbot. They literally just gave it the ability to take control of your browser and perform tasks for you. And what I'm about to show you is so insane. It's way too early to be making a video. I was literally lying in bed a few minutes ago. It's 4:48 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. You can see my bedhead. And why should I sleep? Because ChatGPT agent now exists. Which means, yes, now ChatGPT can take over your browser for you and perform tasks on your behalf. Tasks such as finding every plumber in Nashville without a website, grabbing their contact info and writing personalized emails to sell them websites, or scraping your competitors' pricing pages and building a complete pitch deck on how to beat them, or my personal favorite, telling it to find 20 dentists in Austin, research their services, write custom cold emails for each one, and export everything to a CSV with follow-up templates, all while you sleep in, like I didn't. And here's the thing, and this is why I'm making this video at 5 a.m. We're looking at the biggest shift in how business gets done since the internet. Literally, I've been doing this stuff for 18, 20 years, and I've never seen a tool move this fast. Yesterday, you needed a virtual assistant, a data scraper, a copywriter, an intern, and maybe a research assistant to do everything I'm about to show you today. And today, you just tell this thing what you want it to do and watch it work. But here's what's kind of the depressing thing. Most people are just going to treat this like a fancy Google search engine. They're going to ask it to help them brainstorm, while other people are using it to automate entire revenue streams. And the gap between the people who just get this and the people who don't is about to become as big as the Grand Canyon. And if you're not moving on this stuff right now, like literally this week, you're going to be competing against people who have AI doing the work of entire teams. So over the next 30 or so minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I use this thing to automate what would normally take me 8+ hours of manual work. We're talking real business tasks, revenue generating stuff, the kind of work that either costs you thousands to outsource or keeps you grinding until 2 a.m. And if you stick around, I'm going to show you the one automation I built that literally made my jaw drop. It's just so good. And I'm honestly a little scared about what this means for business owners. So grab some DPZ with me because after this video, you're never going to look at getting work done the same way again. Let's get to it. All right, I think one business idea that exists today, existed 10 years ago, and will exist in another 10 years is simply making websites for other people. AI is not going to make that go away. It's just going to make it a more profitable endeavor for people like you and I. So here's a misconception that some people have about building websites for people. They want to go find business owners that don't already have a website. But that's a misconception. My friend owns a pressure washing business. And you know how he finds most of his customers? He takes little bags, he puts rocks in them with flyers, and he drives to nice neighborhoods, and he finds the homes that have the cleanest driveways. And he throws the rocks in the bags onto the cleanest driveways because those people value keeping their driveway clean. He used to throw them on the dirty driveways because those people need pressure washing. But those people have no interest in pressure washing, clearly. And so the same principle exists with building websites for business owners. We want to find business owners that already have websites. We don't need to assume or guess that it's an ugly website because statistically speaking, it probably is. And we want to do this at scale. So we're not even going to look at the website. We just want to make sure that they already have one. Because if you go give this same offer to business owners that don't have a website, they could have one by now. They're getting pitched websites all day, every day, but they don't value a website. So they're not our customer. So the first task I'm going to do with ChatGPT Agent is ask it to go find 20 plumbers in Nashville that have websites and put as much of their contact information into a Google Sheet for me. Okay, so we're going to click this Tools button. We're going to click Agent Mode, and I'm going to say, Find me a list of 20 plumbers in Nashville that have a website. Then find as much contact info of the owners as possible. Email for sure. Cell phone number would be nice. Put all of this data into a Google Sheet. Move fast. That's one thing that I've learned with Operator or with ChatGPT. Even if you're on the voice mode or whatever, tell it to move fast, and it will. It'll move faster. I'll move fast. Okay. It is moving fast. Oh man, this is so good. So OpenAI has basically said that ChatGPT agent combines all of the agentic features of Operator with all of the deep research features of deep research and put them together, which is really a powerful thing. I'm going to say cross-reference with Manta or other publicly available directories to get the info that's harder to find. So one common mistake that people make is just assuming that ChatGPT knows what they know, or assuming that ChatGPT knows what they want it to do. For instance, Manta has tens of millions of business listings. ChatGPT has surely scraped Manta, but it doesn't mean that it's going to think to do that in this moment. So me asking it to do things more specifically is another way of uploading reference data to ChatGPT, which I always recommend doing. Anytime you ask it to do a task or to return something interesting for you, give it reference data. For instance, don't ask it, I want you to give me 10 business ideas that are approachable and affordable to start. No. Say, give me 10 business ideas that are affordable and approachable to start. Here are 4 examples: dog walking, car detailing, landscaping, having a stand at a farmer's market. If you already like those ideas, then it will return 10 more that are more along those lines of those ideas. It's reference data. It says, I'll open the first search result to further investigate its contents. It's going to be interesting to see how long this takes. And if you remember my video about ChatGPT Operator, it was much, much slower than this. It's amazing to see how far they've come in just a few months. So here's how this works. I make you free videos. I actually know what I'm talking about. And if you implement what I talk about, you'll make a lot more money and have a better life. And all I ask for in return is that you hit the subscribe button and maybe even the notification bell just like that. Thank you. All right, while it's doing this Nashville plumber task, I'm going to open a new tab and have it do something else at the same time. So I own an e-commerce business called Texas Snacks, and we sell Texas Snacks. Specifically, we resell things that we buy from a big gas station chain called Buc-ee's. A lot of clones, a lot of competitors have popped up, and I want to know, what are they selling well? What are they doing differently from us? I want to do a competitive research without having to do it myself. All right, I own TexasSnacks.com. We have a handful of competitors. Find our 5 biggest competitors based on publicly available traffic data and write a report on what they do very well. What products seem to sell well? How is their SEO, etc.? What can I learn from them? So even if you don't already own a business, you can use a prompt like this to do competitive research on other companies, and then you can sell them that research, or you can help them implement the results of that research as an expert, as a consultant, as an agency owner. Let's see what this comes up with. All right, we're going to have 3 agents running at once. I'm going to ask it to do this. Make a list of 5 dentists in Austin, owners only. Write 5 cold emails that are hyper personalized to each of them. Also, almost creepily, stalkerish personalized. Tell them I offer SEO services only for dentists in Austin and would love to hop on a call with them. All right, it's going. All right, let's see if we can have 4 running at the same time. So I'm going to ask it to analyze Google Trends for 5 business ideas, check competition levels, estimate market size, and rank by opportunity score. These must be ideas that are affordable to start. Okay, I have 4 agents running at the same time right now. Let's ask it to do something more personalized where it's going to have to log into some of my accounts. Check calendar for next week's meetings, research each client's recent news or updates, create briefing docs with talking points. 5 agents running concurrently. Okay, please take over to log in with your Google account credentials. You're about to control ChatGPT's browser. It won't take screenshots. Your browser session will be saved. This may put your data at risk. I'm a risky guy. Let's do it. Okay, it's in my calendar. All right, let's see what it's done with the dentist so far. Outside of the office, he enjoys running, lifting weights, paddleboarding, and Spartan races. Dr. Pevsner hangs out with his boxer dog Yuri, paddleboards on Lake Austin, practices Kundalini yoga, plays pickleball. Oh man, this is so good. All right, here's one of the emails it wrote. Hi, Dr. Mathies. Chris here from Austin. I read that fewer than 6% of dentists hold FAGD, and you earned yours after 500 plus hours of study. That's serious hustle. You went from Penn State business grad to NYU dental school, a Montefiore residency, and an implant fellowship, then uprooted to Austin in 2020. I also saw you're a runner and Spartan race competitor who likes paddleboarding and lifting. As a fellow overachiever, I think your online presence should reflect all that grit. Right now, your site barely shows up on page 1 when I search South Austin implants. I host a business podcast and run an SEO firm exclusively for Austin dentists. We help practices like yours dominate local search. I'd love to chat and even feature your story. Shoot me a time and I'll bring the coffee. I don't drink coffee. Wait until you hear how many new patients we can drive your way. Wow. This entire task, doing all this research and writing 5 hyper-personalized cold emails, took 3 minutes. And all I did was prompt it once. No follow-ups, nothing. All right, one day I want to sell this powdered drink concoction that I invented for my own needs. That day isn't anytime soon, but I want to see what other drink concoctions are selling on Amazon and what complaints people have about them. So let's do that research. I want to sell a healthy powdered energy drink on Amazon. Research Amazon reviews for similar products, extract common complaints, create a feature list addressing each pain point. All right, on the cold emails to dentist one, let's see if I can go a step further and actually send those emails for me. Now, keep in mind, I don't sell SEO services. This is just an example. But yes, I am still going to send these emails because I want to see if it'll work. What's the worst that could happen? Some dentist wakes up on a Saturday morning confused about my email. Who cares? Go a step further and send these emails for me. Gmail. Use the email addresses you found. All right, keep in mind, I have 6 agents running at the same time right now. Each agent is taking the place of multiple employees. So for almost no money, I'm essentially paying 15 to 20 people to work for me at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning. All right, let's check in on the powdered energy drink competitive analysis. It's gathering negative reviews, capturing flavor and taste issues, citing negative points for review, scrolling their websites, looking at reviews. Too sweet. Way too sweet. This is so incredible. Does not mix well. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start so many businesses. And if I check on the agent that is researching all of my meetings for next week, it is going hyper in depth. A lot of these meetings are just with my business partners and friends. And so it's very interesting that I can cross-reference what it's finding versus what I actually know about them already. Okay, and it's done. Worked for 9 minutes. Here's your client meeting briefing for next week, sorted by meeting, with latest news and talking points to keep you in the know. Hope it makes the convos flow smoothly, Chris. Week of July 20th to 26th, 2025. Okay, it's just listing them all out right here. Interview for the real estate investing podcast. Okay, here's a brief for each client. Brandon is my friend and business partner. In a modern retail interview, he said Wallaroo, his agency, works with 135 e-commerce brand and is shifting budgets to Pinterest ads. Okay. A PR news article describes Wallaroo as a premier social media advertising agency. The merger with Arvo and their focus on Pinterest signals that Brandon is betting on underpriced attention. Talking points. Ask how the merger has changed day-to-day operations and what new capabilities clients are seeing. This is incredible. Not only did it do research for me, but it formed its own opinions based on that research found. It's not even asking or expecting me to form my own opinions on that research, which could be concerning if you look at it that way. But it's also awesome because I don't have to use those opinions. I can use those opinions to form my own opinions, but at least it gets me along the lines of forming opinions about this research. It removes the friction. All right, Nick Hulesky, that's my best friend and business partner. It does a fact check, ask him about lessons from buying and exiting his first company. This is actually really helpful because this guy, Kevin, I don't know. I'm going to be on his podcast. I've never talked to him before. His assistant even set up this meeting with us. So this is actually super helpful that I'm learning about what he does before I go on his podcast. Their featured asset is American Presidential Estates, a 503 lot institutional grade mobile home park near Ann Arbor, Michigan. Talking points. What attracted him to this 503 lot park? This is so good. It says lead each conversation with hard numbers. Keep in mind, I logged into my calendar once, and I won't need to do that again. And it did all this research for me in 9 minutes, as I did other things on the computer. This is something that my assistant would do. Hey, Megan, I hope you're not watching this. All right, on the dentist one, it's now asking me to log into my Gmail. All right, let's see what it does now that it's in my email. It's interesting. It says, watch while ChatGPT works with sensitive data. ChatGPT is working with mail.google.com, which contains sensitive data. If you notice anything bad happening, you can stop the task. That's them trying to cover their butt. They don't want to be liable for anything that happens. All right, let's check out my energy drink competitor research here. All right, common complaints from Amazon reviews and expert articles. Packaging is difficult to open and poorly designed. Powder clumps or doesn't dissolve. Poor taste. Overly sweet or sickly flavor. Limited flavor variety. Product is expensive. Acquired taste. Suggested features to address each pain point. Easy open, tamper evident packaging, anti-clumping, yada, yada, yada. Here's what people hate about powdered energy drinks, how you can fix it. Easy open packaging, no more clumps, clean taste, balanced sweetness, flavor variety, affordable value, no acquired taste, caffeine options. Some people don't want caffeine. So it would be a mistake if I just left this as is. Now I have all this data. Now I want to use the rest of ChatGPT, its whole corpus of knowledge, the LLM, this large language model. These are the things that companies are spending billions of dollars to build. I don't want to waste it. So what it just acquired for me is now proprietary. This is info that I have that no one else has, but I want to ask a question. So I'm going to say, which complaints appeared the most often? I don't want to fix problems that are anecdotal and don't affect a large percentage of people. So the one where I asked it to analyze Google Trends for 5 business ideas, it's kind of taken a while. So I just said, how's it going? Moving along? And it said, hey, Chris. Yep, moving along nicely, gathering data and citations, almost done pulling the info together. We'll have that ranking and summary ready for you soon. Now, on the agent where I asked it to actually email these dentists from my email, it's not letting me navigate away from the tab. It wants to make sure that I'm watching everything it's doing inside my email, which is a little annoying, but I can see why they want this. It is a liability. It's the same principle as Tesla not letting me look at my phone while my car is driving itself. It doesn't want to get sued if I run into something and full self-driving doesn't work. But that's going away. The Tesla network just launched in Austin and cars are driving without people in the driver's seat. So eventually this will go away too. All right, I'm watching it work inside my inbox. It's a little freaky. It put the entire email in the subject line. The current draft to Dr. Gordon is problematic, so I'll close the window and start fresh. It's fixing itself at least, but it still has the whole text of the email as the subject line. I'm going to tell it, be sure to use an optimized subject line. Don't put the body of the email in the subject line as you're doing now. All right, if we go check on the plumber one, it's saying that the research is ready, but it needs to log into Google Sheets so it can enter it for me. All right, I just logged in to my Google Drive. Let's see what it does. That is the annoying part, is having to log into all these services. The more you need it to do, the more you want it to do personalized things in your account on your behalf, the more you have to log in. And like this full self-driving analogy, this will be fixed in time. But for now, it's just a little obnoxious. All right, if we look at the energy drink one, worked for 49 seconds and said the biggest complaints I kept seeing across Amazon reviews and expert write-ups were mixing and clumps, taste, sweetness level, packaging. I'm going to go a step further and say, show me a pie chart that represents how many complaints each of these got proportionally. All right, it's making a pie chart. Oh man, this is insane. I got to zoom in on this. Proportion of common complaints in Amazon energy drink reviews. Mixability, 31%. Taste issues, 25%. Packaging, 12%. Price/expensive, 12%. Limited flavors, 6%. Counterfeit, 6%. Holy cow. This is incredible. Imagine if I were making a pitch deck. Boom, put it in the pitch deck. In fact, I think I will. I think I will do that. I'll ask him to make a pitch deck for me. Let's say I was actually making this energy drink and I want to raise money for it. And I want to show potential investors the promise of this potential business. So I wanted to take all this research and say, I am fixing all the problems in the energy drink market. Here's what they are. Here's what they are proportionally. And here's how I plan to fix it. This is absolutely incredible. Quick question. What if there were a private community out there of people that were building businesses based on this podcast? Well, I just made it. And it's only for business starters and business builders. It's called TK Owners. And it's basically like having me and 100 other business geniuses as your business partner, but you give them 0% equity. Also, there's going to be exclusive new trends, growth hacks, business ideas, and a database of everything I've ever talked about. You'll find thousands of startup case studies. You'll have weekly Ask Me Anythings with me while I'll answer your questions directly. You'll be in my Slack channel where I'm hanging out every week and helping members one-on-one. We've got exclusive guest speakers, including some names that you'll recognize. And if you're building something cool, I'll introduce you to anyone you need. TK Owners is the fastest way to plug into a smart, ambitious group of builders and accountability partners that are sharing wins without the fluff. And it's $99 a month, about the cost of an energy drink per day. You can join now at tkowners.com, link in the show notes. How many people in the world know that of all the complaints about energy drink powders, mixability/clumps is 31% of them? See, that's the magic of AI. AI is not magical by itself. AI is magical based on what we prompt it to do. And now, today, as of today, AI is magical based on what we ask it to do for us. This has never been possible in the history of the world. I don't even know if it can do this. I know that like Manus can do this. There's a couple other AI tools that make pitch decks, but we're going to see. Make a pitch deck showing all of your findings as if I were raising investor capital for this energy drink business. All right, do you remember this prompt? Analyze Google Trends for 5 business ideas, check competition levels, estimate market size, yada, yada. This one took a while. It says 2 minutes here, but that is not accurate. It took like 15 or 20 minutes. Here we go. Business ideas chosen: pet sitting, dog walking, home office cleaning services, online tutoring, social media marketing services for local businesses, and mobile car wash services. They require relatively low startup costs because equipment can be purchased gradually and they can operate from a home base. All right, this is good. This is pretty good. Strong seasonality. Okay, it shows the market size, the competition level. It ranks them by opportunity scores. It ranked pet sitting/dog walking as number 1. Seasonal peaks and strong rebound. It's very fragmented, 99% independent, moderate competition. Mobile car wash is number 2. Cleaning services, number 3. Online tutoring, 4. Social media marketing, number 5. And it ranked them out of 10. Now I'm going to ask it to do this. I'm going all in. All right. I'm going all in on the mobile car wash business. Find 4 specific and tactical case studies about other real entrepreneurs that did the same and how they found success. What were their startup costs and marketing methods? What were their sales in the beginning? Scrape Reddit, Facebook, X, and other niche blogs and YouTube videos for stories. The more niche and specific, the better. If you don't ask it that, it's going to give you some generic stuff, like a CNBC article that has no tactics or anything in it. If you don't tell it where to go scrape, then it might not scrape where you want it to scrape. So let's see what it does. I'm loving the power of having the agent go out and do research for you, compile all this data, and then you just start asking it questions. Okay, so it came back with something very, very fast. Reddit, I spent 5 hours, made my money back. And it has links to everything. Holy crap, Reddit, solo detailing, first month, spent $811, made $920 from 5 customers in month 1. Tactics, takeaway. YouTube, 22-year-old, $50K a month business. Holy crap. Summary table. Startup costs, $400, $1,400, $0. Like, it's putting it all together for me. So now if I wanted to take this a step further, I could say, come up with a day-by-day launch plan over the next 30 days. I want to do this business. I want to launch this business. I want you to use data points from all of these stories. I asked you for 4. Now I want 40. I want 40 stories. Take the best from all of them and make me a 30-day launch plan of how I can launch this business. So like, A lot of this was already available before ChatGPT agent, right? Some of this isn't surprising. We could have asked it to do that. But the power here is having it go out and do that extra step. Open up 15 tabs at the same time and start doing all this research. Start compiling it. We could have it put it into a pitch deck for us, into a Google Sheet for us, into a PDF for us, into cold emails to raise money from investors for us. None of that was available. So the powerful part is doing all this research and legwork and all of this, and then asking it questions, and then using it as your own personal mini chat GPT for all that legwork that it's already done. That's what's blowing my mind about all this. And if we go back to the energy drink tab, it's still making a pitch deck from scratch with code. All right, if we check on the emails to dentist, I said, how's it going? Almost done, Chris. Emails drafted and prepped for Dr. Mathis, Dr. Gockhale, Dr. Gordon. Subject lines were too long. I'm fixing those up. Drafts were clean, but one had a formatting glitch. Quick review of all 5. Want a quick preview of one fixed subject email? No, just send them all ASAP. I just love that it fixes itself. I just picture like a robot in my house 5-10 years from now doing laundry, cooking for me. Something breaks, something falls off the robot. The robot kneels down, picks it up, puts it back on, runs a software update from the internet, goes to Amazon, orders a new part. It arrives the next day. It unboxes it, it puts it back in its armpit or whatever. That's how robots are going to behave. You can be scared by it. They're going to be adapted to AI. Doesn't matter. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. That's what ChatGPT is doing right now. It's breaking and then it's fixing itself. All right, this is absolutely incredible. It's been working on this energy drink pitch deck for 12 minutes and it's done. It's done. I just had to create this pitch deck with a prompt. I know. Man, if there's other tools out there that could make kind of ugly pitch decks, but not combined with agentic features or with the power of ChatGPT, the fastest growing company in the history of the world. The slides start with strong numbers. So it's making the pitch deck in an optimized way, in a way that I don't even know how to make pitch decks. We call out the top pain points, show a pie chart, lay out the solutions. The slide covers direct to consumer via Amazon subscriptions, leveraging your social media footprint. And here's the thing about ChatGPT. Here's why OpenAI might just become the most valuable company in the world. First of all, they're the quickest company to reach a $500 billion valuation. Remember, 10, 15 years ago, there were 0 $500 billion companies ever in the history of the world. Today, there's a handful of 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 trillion companies, like you could count them on one or two hands. OpenAI became a $500 billion company in the matter of 5 years. It took Google 20 years to do that. And here's why. Because it knows everything about us. If you freak out about this, then delete your account. That's fine. But that's not where you're watching this. I want ChatGPT to know everything about me. That's why they have such low churn. People don't leave because it remembers everything you ask it across chats now. That wasn't possible a few months ago. So not only is it making this pitch deck in an optimized way, as good pitch decks should be, but it's also incorporating things that it knows about me personally, which is mind-blowing. My social media footprint, everything. And I didn't even ask it to. If I would have asked it to do that, it probably would have put in a lot more personalized things. So let's look at the pitch deck. Okay, market opportunity and pain points, consumer complaint analysis, our solution, instant dissolve, no clumps, balanced taste. Now, it is pretty ugly if you're watching this. Competitive advantage, investment opportunity, join us. Still, it made a pitch deck from scratch. And I could say, here's what I could do. One of the most legendary pitch decks of all time was Airbnb's pitch deck. Here it is. So I'm going to download it and I'm going to go back to this chat window and I'm going to upload it. So I said, make the design more similar to the design of the attached pitch deck. Incorporate more personal stories and anecdotes about me personally that you either know from searching about me online or from our private chats, wherever relevant. All right, now if we look at the competitive landscape for texassnacks.com, let's see what it says. Amazon.com. It's right. It was kind of a trick question because Amazon is my biggest competitor, or at least third-party resellers on Amazon are my biggest competitors. I didn't lead it that way. I thought it was just going to find random Shopify stores that also compete against me, but it listed Amazon as number one. Okay. Walmart, yep. Texas Bite Box, I'd never even heard of them. They claim to have shipped 16,000 products, served 13,000 customers. Okay, that's a lot. What they do well: clear merchandising and bundling, social proof, cross-platform promotion. Lessons for Texas Snacks: emphasize social proof on your site, use TikTok and Instagram more aggressively. That's true. We need to do that. Johnny's Goods, I know about them. Bride Catalog. Lessons for Texas Snacks: expand content marketing. And then Texas Nuggets, niche store with simple UX. It even judged the clean layout of their site. Additional competitors: small but noteworthy. Snacks for me. Wow, that is really, really good. Okay, so if I look at the dentist in Austin, it was not a complete bust. It did lose control of the browser, which was my fault because I was switching tabs and it wanted me to stay in the tab because it was in my Gmail. But if I go into my Gmail in a different tab and I look at my drafts, as I'm doing right here, look at this draft. Your pain-free dentistry deserves page 1 ranking. Now, I'm not a fan of that subject line. It's not one that I would write. It looks a little spammy. I doubt it gets opened by most people. But I do find it interesting that it wrote emails in the style that I've told ChatGPT to respond to me in, which is in quick bullet points. Hi, Dr. Gordon. I'm Chris, a business podcast host. You own Austin Lakes Dentistry. You graduated at the top of your class, yada, yada, yada. It's just like, I'm stalking you. I'm stalking you. I'm stalking you. Will you buy from me? But I could just click send. There was a little trial and error here. This one has the email, keep dentistry weird, and rank West Creek Dental number 1. I mean, should I just click send? I kind of want to click send. And it did the same thing here. It has the email, it has the subject line, it has the full body. Just incredible. Just incredible. I don't have to hire anyone to do my cold emails anymore. I just need to prompt it and then log in. I wonder how many emails it could send like this. And the magic is not in cold emailing, it's in all the research it's doing beforehand. There are tools like Apollo that do some of this, but it doesn't do it all in one place. Most importantly, once again, it doesn't know everything about me. It doesn't know how I write. It doesn't know how I usually like to pitch people. It doesn't know my approach. It's not built on a corpus of data over the last 2 years of using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is doing what Costco has done with Kirkland. They find best-selling products in their stores, and then they turn it into a Kirkland product and push them out. They vertically integrate. Amazon does the same thing with Amazon Basics. Wow, these batteries are crushing. Let's make Amazon batteries and sell them for 30% cheaper. That's what OpenAI is doing with all these features. So there's a ton of Chrome extensions, add-ons, plugins, apps that are all built on top of and or with and or integrated with OpenAI that are about to be made irrelevant one by one by one, because OpenAI is slowly eating the internet. So video is cool, but you know what's better? Long form audio via podcast and my newsletter, tkopod.com. Go there to subscribe for free to my newsletter. It's 1 email a week, very tactical. And then go to my audio podcast, 3 episodes a week, stuff like this. You're going to love it. All free, no sleazy sales pitch, tkopod.com. If we check in on this powdered energy drink pitch deck, it's turning the famous, well-optimized, well-designed Airbnb pitch deck into my pitch deck. So I can keep those design elements, but use it for what I'm trying to do. If we check in on the Nashville plumbers, it kept glitching out on the Google Sheet because I kept navigating away from it. Once again, once you log into something, it wants you to stay on that screen. Now, I could have pulled the tab out and made it its own tab so it appears open on my MacBook, but I didn't want to mess with that. So I said, instead, just turn it into a downloadable CSV of Nashville plumbers. Boom. And when I do that, I know you can't see it, so I'm going to paste it into a Google Sheet so I can share my tab and do that. All right, got it. This is pasted over from the CSV. Boom. Look at that. Exactly 20 Nashville plumbers with their websites, their names, their phone numbers, and their emails. Holy crap. Now that one took a while. It took like a half hour and it glitched out a couple times, but it only glitched out because I needed it to log in. So there's a learning for you. The less you ask it to log in for now, the better, the more seamless and frictionless it will be for you. So to speed things up, I said I only need the new redesigned deck to have 5 beautiful slides patterned after the Airbnb one. All right, before we wrap this up by seeing the last pitch deck that it spits out based on Airbnbs, let's recap the 6 things that I've had this agent do at the same time. Number 1, look at my upcoming calendar appointments, do research on the people I'm meeting with, and prep me for the calls. It did that masterfully. I had to log in. I didn't need to babysit the browser as I did in Gmail and Google Sheets, and it worked perfectly and it worked fast. I'd give that a 9 out of 10. I also had it find 20 plumbers in Nashville, find their cell phone numbers, their emails, their websites, and their business names, put it in a Google Sheet. It took a very long time for only 20 plumbers, which I wasn't pleased with. It glitched out in Google Sheets, which I wasn't pleased with, but it did get me the data in a CSV form. I'd give that a 6.5 out of 10. The next thing I asked it to do was find 5 dentists in Austin, look up a crazy amount of info about them. I don't know how it found all this stuff, and write 5 personalized cold emails. It did this pretty well. It did glitch out in my Gmail, which of course it's going to do that if it's inside my Gmail and I need to log in with 2-factor and all that. But it wrote the email and it would have sent them if it didn't glitched out. If I wouldn't have navigated away from the tab doing 1,000 things at once, it would have actually sent the emails. But I did write them. They were in my drafts. Almost all of them were ready to go. I'd give that one a 7.5 out of 10 because the difficulty level was quite a bit higher on that one. Now I asked it to do a competitive analysis for TexasSnacks.com. It did this masterfully. Deep research could have done something very similar. So this wasn't a big stretch for the agentic capabilities that just came out. But I was very impressed that it put Amazon and Walmart first because it was kind of a trick question that it passed with flying colors. And then it listed out one competitor that I'd never heard of that seems to be doing a pretty good job. And then a few competitors that I have heard of. So I was able to cross-reference all that. I'd give that one an 8.5 out of 10. And then I asked it to find 5 business ideas that were trending based on Google Trends data. So it did cross-reference that. And it worked quite a long time on this. It gave me a table showing 5 opportunities. They were kind of generic, pet sitting, dog washing. They weren't super niche. I could have prompted it better. I could have given it more reference data like brush clearing, porch pumpkin decorating, hole-in-one challenge, more random niche ideas, and I bet it would have spit out much better data for me. So that was kind of on me. But my big takeaway from this one was the ability to ask it questions and how quickly it responded. I love that it quickly found YouTube videos and Reddit posts because there's millions of subreddits out there. You're not just going to go to the car detailing one to find what you need. You're going to find one in the dog lover subreddit, right? People are talking about all kinds of stuff in these. So I was very impressed with this one, especially considering I could have it use everything it knows about me to make a 30-day launch plan for one of those ideas. But the most impressive thing it did, in my opinion, which was the one I had the lowest expectations for, was do all that research on powdered energy drinks and then make a pitch deck for me. And then make a better pitch deck for me based on the reference data that I uploaded in the Airbnb pitch deck. This research was so good. You could pay hundreds of dollars a month for tools that do this. It is now free, quote, free. It's part of what you already pay for ChatGPT. And then for it to make the pie chart, and then for it to break down the exact percentages of the complaints that it found, that told me that it actually knew what it was talking about. It wasn't just BSing me. All right, here we go. Here's your redesigned 5-slide deck, patterned after the Airbnb style, loaded with personal touches. Each slide uses coral accents, clean layouts, and a blend of your story and market facts. In case you didn't know, coral is the color that Airbnb uses. Grab the finished PowerPoint here. Should we take a look? Clean energy for real life. Healthy powdered drink by true hustlers. Okay. Chris is a 36-year-old. I'm 38. Dad of 4, living in Dallas, running in racquetball. Okay. All right. He needed a clean energy for long days and late nights. Well, it is a late night right now. So podcast host. I don't know where they got 26K following anymore. $79 billion global energy drink market. There's the pie chart that it made for us. Okay, this does look like the Airbnb deck, which was, in their defense, 14 years old. It was great design for the time, and it's legendary based on how well they optimized it to raise, hundreds of millions of dollars. Boom, 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 boom. 5 slides, just like I asked for. Okay, and for the final task of doing this energy drink competitive research, making a pitch deck, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I thought this was a simple task, and it was, but it went the extra mile for me and blew my mind and just really opened my eyes to what's possible with ChatGPT Agent. So now all you got to do is go do stuff with this. $20 a month and you can have a team of PhD employees at your fingertips. A team of PhD employees at your fingertips for $20 a month. Did you not hear what I just said? This isn't an ad. I don't work for OpenAI. They don't know who I am, but my mind is blown at the possibilities here. So smash the follow button because this took hours. Share it with a friend. Thanks for hanging out with me on the Kerner Office.